I was so shocked reading the reviews this woman wrote about me. I couldn't stop the tears from rolling down my eyes. Do not go to this place. Everyone there is incompetent and rude, especially the girl that cut my hair. So unprofessional. My first time and my last time coming here. This place deserves to be shut down. My hair has never looked worse. This hair salon is an abomination. The girl cutting my hair was completely incompetent and so rude. I love working at my hair salon. My boss is kind and understanding. We do our job well, and we're all very good at what we do. I think it's because we all love our job, as well as meeting new people. We have a lot of fun working together, and we have a lot of great customers. It's a tough job to do because most people coming into the salon get really anxious that we're going to mess up their hair. So we have to be able to communicate well with them, be understanding, help them with anything they need so that they can relax and start to trust us. Most of the time, we have no or very little problems because most customers come into the salon open-minded, except for Karen. It all started the moment she walked in the door. She walked in and the look on her face should have already warned us. She had an appointment, so she loudly placed her giant purse on the coffee table in the waiting area next to the reception counter and requested her appointment with a touch of attitude as she sat down to wait. I walked up to her to offer a drink, as we do with every customer, to make them more comfortable. Hi there, welcome. Can I get you a glass of water while you wait? I offered nicely. She turned to me and snapped. Why would you ask me that? What am I supposed to do with it? I was quite shocked, as I've never had a customer snap at me when I offered them a glass of water before. I was just trying to be polite and offer her some refreshments. But okay. I was still giving her the benefit of the doubt, and I was not going to let it get to me. So I smiled politely and said, okay, whenever you'd like some, please let me know, and I'll be happy to get it for you. She then rolled her eyes as a response, and I walked away. Cheers, Free! My colleague hollered at me, so I went to her again and told her that we're ready for her. She sat down in the chair, and we discussed what she wanted and decided on a look for her. As she was telling me what she wanted, I was doing what I normally do as a way for me to let her know that I acknowledge her requests. I was repeating everything back to her. We were about to finish up the consultation. I was repeating the last bits of what she said to me when I noticed her facial expression. Her eyebrows were burrowed, but not so much that she looks like she's stressed, just enough to show that she's unhappy. Her eyes glared at me with condescension while her nostrils were flaring and her lips were pursed. I thought it was going better, but when I noticed her look, I suddenly felt overwhelmingly uncomfortable. You were not listening to a word I just said. I'm telling you this right now. If you don't get it exactly as I just told you, I'm going to come back here as often as it takes, and you're going to fix it for me for free every single time until it's done right. We hadn't even started and she was already being so negative about her future haircut and assuming it was going to be bad. It was in that moment that I knew exactly how it was going to end. I knew there was no pleasing her, but I'm an optimist. I thought to myself, if I also go into this thinking it's going to be bad, it will definitely be bad. I've had other customers come in very anxious and unsure before that left feeling satisfied and on cloud 9 from their cut. So I just stayed positive and thought to myself that she will be one of those customers. I will give her exactly the haircut she described, and she will walk out of here happy and become a regular of mine. I wish that's how it ended. First, we had to wash her hair, which, thankfully, was a smooth process. I mean, how wrong can hair washing go? But she was totally the type to complain about a little speck of water on her face, so I was glad there was no drama there. That was when I started to build up hope that it was going to be okay. I tried to be nice and initiate conversation, but she wasn't interested in that, so we just kept it friendly and talked about her hair. When we got back into the chair, she was focused entirely on my every move. That was normal for me, so it didn't faze me at first. But then there were the comments. Is that the way you're supposed to cut? I've never seen that done that way before. I think you're supposed to pull the hair up to the side first to check the length before you do that. That can't be right. You're messing this up. The place I went to before never did that. I felt so on edge that even I was starting to doubt what I was doing. I had to keep explaining everything I did to her and telling her that sometimes different stylists have different ways of doing things. I wanted to explain to her that hairdressing is an art, and sometimes hairstylists just do things a different way or at a different pace. We're humans, not robots. We're not all programmed to cut hair the same way. But of course, I didn't say that. Anyway, by the time I was done cutting, I brought the mirror to the back of her head and showed her what I had done. She looked great. I gave her the exact hairstyle she was looking for, and it was amazing. But can you imagine her reaction? Do you think she would be happy with what I did? No. She complained about a few things, so of course I wrapped the wrap around her again and fixed what she asked for. The entire time I was fixing it, she was complaining about how incompetent I was and how I wasn't listening to her at all. It was really hard for me because I was trying to give her what she wanted, but she was so rude and mean to me the entire time. And no matter what I did for her, she was just so unhappy. There was always something wrong. There was also something I wasn't doing. I was so exhausted after a few hours, not from the actual work, but from all the negativity that she was throwing my way. I didn't know what else to do for her, and I was pressured by being put down constantly to figure it out. After many fixings, I finally had to put an end to it. I'm sorry, but I've tried my best to give you exactly what you wanted since the first discussion, but I don't think there's anything else I can do anymore because you're just unhappy with everything that I do. She flipped out. She stood up really fast and stared at me straight in my face, but then she grabbed her purse and phone while repeating, "I can't believe this," and "Oh my God," and "How unprofessional," over and over again. I thought she was just going to walk out without paying, but she walked over to the counter and complained there's some more. I followed her quietly over to the counter. We had to stand there for a while because there was another person in front of her paying. She had to wait to pay while she was fuming and complaining to everyone about me. I stood there next to my boss waiting for her turn to pay. I couldn't wait for her to leave. While we were waiting, my boss told me to go get her a bag and put some sample product goodies in there for her. When I left apparently, she said to my boss, "Ugh, what? She couldn't even stay to address the problem? That's professional." My boss answered her, "No, actually, I asked her to get me bags. She'll be right back." She apparently got so mad after my boss said that and yelled at her, "This place, her, is so unprofessional and I am not a happy customer. Your stylist didn't listen to a word I said and you are standing up for her? Don't you know that your customers are always right? Well, this customer is not satisfied. You don't deserve my money." And then she storms out. I was just walking back as she was yelling, and when she walked out, no one chased after her. "We don't need her money," my boss said. She was such a nightmare. I couldn't believe how she could think that she can treat people this way. She humiliated me in front of my coworkers and friends, in front of my boss, and worst of all, in front of other customers. I was so down and doubting myself after because I just felt like I couldn't do anything right. I would cry and think, is it me? After she left, the other customers that were around me started talking about how rude she was, and my coworkers agreed. But I still couldn't stop thinking about it for a few days. And just when I was getting over what happened, I saw all the negative reviews she posted on many platforms about me and the salon. You know, despite her being all rude to me, I still tried to make conversation and create a relationship with her, but she just kept shutting me down with one-word answers. I freaked out for more days after I read the reviews and even lost sleep over it. But you know what I realized? People who are unhappy tend to project their unhappiness. People who are feeling miserable and sad sometimes try to make others feel that way too. So if there's anything I can impart, first is to not take things personally, because most of the time, negativity comes from a feeling of insecurity or fear. And second, before you write a scathing review, think about how you feel and maybe what's really bothering you, instead of writing about how angry you are at a service job person who maybe just made a simple mistake and was still trying their best to please you. The most important thing is, be kind. You don't know what other people are going through in life.